Thank you very much. Thank you to Michelle and the organizers for putting on this event. It's very good to be here. The French novelist Victor Hugo once remarked that nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. Oneness, or holism, is an ancient concept whose time has at last arrived in our collective consciousness. Applied extensively in Eastern philosophy, the influence of the oneness principle is now being felt in Western thought through more holistic forms of medicine and more integrative forms of social, economic, and environmental policies. However, in this new millennium, the findings of cutting-edge science are taking our global village well beyond the boundaries of the World Wide Web into a brave new world. From neurobiology to psychiatry, from parapsychology to quantum physics, more and more cutting-edge researchers, including Nobel Prize laureates, are concluding that the humankind's three-dimensional reality could in fact be an elaborate fiction mediated by the brain and materialized by the vibration and energy of our thoughts and feelings. David Bohm, a former protege of Einstein and one of the greatest, most brilliant quantum physicists of the 20th century, was intrigued by the bizarre state of interconnectedness that existed between apparently unrelated subatomic events. Over time, he developed a theory based on holograms. Later joined by a Stanford neurophysiologist, Bohm concluded that the universe itself might well be a giant hologram, a three-dimensional image or construct created at least in part by the human mind. David Bohm's holographic universe is based on quantum physics' earliest findings, namely that nothing is real until it is observed. This brings us to the classic philosophy question: if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one to hear it, does it make any sound? Stanford University's William Tiller supports Bohm's holographic idea and compares the universe to Star Trek's holodeck. What Albert Einstein considered to be spooky action at a distance has since been proven true by physicists under laboratory conditions and repeated on numerous occasions. Many world-renowned scientists, including Nobel Prize winner Brian Josephson, support Bohm's theory and are calling for a new way of thinking in science that would completely alter our materialist view of reality. Josephson believes that Bohm's theory may someday even lead to the inclusion of God or mind within the framework of science. So this brings me to the question: are we all victims of a complex hoax created by our senses, as illustrated in popular culture by the movie The Matrix? Is humanity the unconscious and sleeping dreamer of an illusion called Maya by Hindu lore? Could it be that the ancient spiritual teachers were correct in asserting that we are what we think? All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make our world. What if we all were the author of our own life story through the vibrations we transmit through our thoughts and feelings? Much talked about in recent years through the movie The Secret and such scientific documentaries as What the Bleep Do We Know, the law of attraction has become the mainstay of the self-development industry and can be traced back to the watershed self-help book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Simply put, the law of attraction, which can be defined as that which is like unto itself is drawn, states that we attract through the vibrations of our thoughts and emotions the people, circumstances, and events that populate our life experience. While the law of attraction has been communicated through the writings and teachings of some of the greatest teachers in history, it wasn't until 1927 that its scientific basis was firmly established through the birth of quantum physics. A new non-dualistic or holistic model of reality is rapidly asserting itself, allowing for a reintroduction of the law of attraction through what Swiss psychoanalyst Carl Jung coined synchronicity. A synchronicity which signifies a meaningful coincidence between two or more events, implying something other than simple probability or random occurrence, causes time and space to seemingly collapse into what some have called magical thought. Jung's explanation of synchronicity, which refers to absolute knowledge, is similar to what quantum physicists have called the unified field of consciousness. And therein lies the power of hypnosis. And I'm a little bit behind on my slides here, so just bear with me. Through hypnosis, you become highly responsive to suggestions. It's as if suggestions given during hypnosis come to define your perception of the world. Neuroscience has discovered that the mind does not know the difference between the real and the imagined, lending credibility to hypnosis, which has been described as a believed-in fantasy. If people believe that something is true and real, then it is, in its fact and consequence. Since our reality is a reflection of the balance of our thoughts, then it seems reasonable to conclude that you can more effectively leverage the laws of physics and of attraction through autosuggestion or hypnosis. In the end, our thoughts and feelings emit vibration and energy, which then activate the laws of attraction through synchronicity. And I'll finish with the words of Albert Einstein, who was just up previously, who sums it up best when he says, "Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics." Thanks very much for your time. I appreciate it.